Hi everyone, Azure here, and this is probably a more unique video for me. This is the first of my type in this channel. I wanted to give my thoughts for Zenless Zone Zero. I've been seeing mixed opinions, mostly some hate, but I don't see the hate that seems warranted. It's strange. But I wanted to give my thoughts, which have been mostly positive, to be honest. I've been playing the game for quite a bit of while now. I'm up to chapter 2 right now. I'm actually level 26 on my rank right now. So I think I've played a while enough to give my thoughts on the game right now. So it it's been great. It's more than great. It's actual peak Hoyo experience. Like Noda, like it's been great. It's like I don't know how to put it into words that are just peak, actual peak. I want to start out with like the presentation of the game. Like I love the whole like street like movie feel of it all. Like I just love it just goes all in with that. And then like it just feels like a whole other level in the cutscenes. I just love that. I mean, coming like I just started Star Rail, and that kind of just knocked me out of the park. And coming from like starting with Genshin as my first Hoyo game, I was just like Genshin, like I love that, but like Genshin now is just getting to the point where I'm like, wow, I would like getting super emotional with these cutscenes and stuff like that more and more often because how top notch. And trust me, I love Genshin lore. Genshin lore makes me more emotional. Like I'm super invested in Genshin. I'm not trying to be like, oh, anti Genshin hater. I'm not like a lot of like certain individuals I'm not gonna name obviously that just want to hate Genshin just because it just feels okay to hate Genshin. I don't get me wrong, criticizing Genshin and asking for it to be improved is one thing, but to say, oh yeah, just trash it, this doesn't make me feel right and okay. So I don't understand if that just translates into this. But yeah, like this just I love the main characters in this. Like Belle and Wise just make me wish Ether and Lumine just have so much personality. I just wish Ether and Lumine just could just emote and just feel like characters because I love Ether and Lumine's designs. I love their characters. I love when they can even have emotions and characters. I just hate that Paimon is just their voice. Like I don't like that the silent protagonist that's supposed to be you and or have a character that would just either supposed to voice to be you or have an annoying sidekick that's supposed to say witty or annoying lines. I just never resonated with either of those tropes and I never will. I always hated that shit so much. And I wish either and Lumine were just could be like Wise and Belle. And I thought Stella was just a phenomenal character, even though she was not as talkative of these two. But she just they oozed with like Stella oozed with personality, or KO, or whatever his name was. The other one was just oozed with personality. You know, compared to those two. And I trust me, I love either Lumine, but it just makes me wonder why they just couldn't do what they have done here. And I love it so much. I love it. I love it so much. I just can't get enough of this. I haven't took my eyes off the screen since I've been playing it. So, uh, and as far as the gameplay goes, I have no major complaints. A lot of people think it's button mashy. I can kind of see what they say at first when I first played it, but it's not. There's a lot that goes into it. Obviously, I love the sense of satisfaction when you do something correct, like just blocking or, obviously, dashes. You need to kind of trade off when you want to decide when you want to do those. Obviously, character compositions always are going to be a thing in those, which is too early for me to kind of just think about that. Obviously, there is some consideration in that, but but I love the satisfaction when you know you did something correct. I think it does a really good job, feeling like you do something correctly, and it shows it really well. I think. I think it does a really good job showing that, as opposed to like if I do something wrong, I know I did something wrong. I think I did a good job with. I think it does a good job with when you mess up. Oh yeah, that's my fault. I did that. I fucked up. I think Zenless does a good job with that. I know there's moments where it's like easy, but then it does give you the option of like, oh, I could put it on a harder difficulty. I mean, that's on you if you just want to play through the story mode, easy. And I don't think it's a bad thing to wanting to just play through the experience and have it. I think a lot of people just don't understand. Hey, I just want to play through the experience, get my stuff, and go. I mean, if you want a challenge, just put it on the hard mode and go. I think people are just too busy focusing on like an abyss like experience, which is fine. If they want a hard mode, then that's fine. I don't have issues with that. I think there's room for both just one chill experience and one wants just the hard experience and do flex their builds or whatever. I get it, I guess, but I think there just needs to be like the middle, like you just need to like middle ground it a little bit. So, but I think the game does a good job. Like, oh yeah, you did a good job. Like, if you did a good job, you did a good job. If you messed up, well, oh, that's on you. I think there'll be a point where the game's going to get harder, and you could test your builds out at some point. I think it's early, so it's trying to introduce players slowly. I think the rewards are very similar to Honkai, where it's like, oh yeah, you're guaranteed a 10 10 pull, which is really nice. It does a really good job at that, which I am a fan of, by the way. I was never a fan of Genshin, like being kind of picky with stuff like that. I since I'm like, but I'm an habitual, spender at stuff like this. It was like I'm not too worried about it, but as for someone who's free to play, like, or budget players, that's always a worry. I don't think you have to worry so much about needing like, oh, do I need a whale or how much do I need to spend on this? Like, I think it's a lot more friendlier to budget or free to play players, much like Star Rail. I think, like Star Rail, I think it's much more friendlier to that. You're like going to go in here, be able to go at it. Like, I'm not saying Genshin's awful. I mean, Genshin's definitely improved in my opinion, but not like in the sense of like, oh yeah, you're guaranteed a 10 pull every time you play the game, which I wish Genshin would do that. I don't know why they haven't yet, but I think it makes no sense. But whatever. But yeah, I think one thing I could say that this game could do is the battery is at a good spot. 240 is not terrible. I'd like 240 in battery. Uh, I think energy reserve would be nice. I think Star Rail does that, and I don't know why other games. I wish Genshin would do that too. When it gets full, because I hate when like it builds up, and I know it's in the back of my mind, and especially when I do other things like in my PS5, and I just know it's going to be in the back of my mind. Like, oh, it builds up, or when I'm like at like doing something, especially since it's summer, I know I'm doing other things. It just builds up, and I know it's gonna be full, and I'm not wasting it on building up my characters or whatever and stuff like that. But it can't be helped. It's just part of the game. It's just more of a person. This is more of a personal thing than me. 240 is still pretty good. At least it's not like 160 or whatever. So I think my experience is mostly positive. I think it's a very like I think you should pick it up, like play it. Like if you're like debating on downloading it or stuff like that, don't debate on it. Please download it. It's such a fun game. Like don't wait on it now. Please download it. Like if you're gonna play a Hoyo game, like this has so much personality. Like the characters are all oozing with personality. The game just is. I love New Eridu. Like I love the whole like like street cinema thing. I love the characters. Like the free characters are all really great. Like Ambi, like Nicole, Billy, they're all really cool. The cutting hairs are really great. I won't spoil too much of the story. Uh, but it is really great if you want to check it out. I do recommend it. I'm not sponsored, obviously. I see a lot of people get sponsored by it, but I enjoy a lot about this game. I just can't get enough of it. The uh, I did buy the battle pass. I didn't do too much whaling. I'm not gonna lie. I did spend some money, but all of it is just to go into this game's version of the Welcome Moon, which is called the Internauts membership, which is $5, and I think I bought it twice. Uh, uh, which gives you like 90 of those. What's it called? The polychromes a day or whatever, and that's if you're gonna make like a budget decision, that's going to be worth it, you know. Uh, and I did buy the pass, which is like usually like $10, and it's like 20 if you want to get ahead on a couple levels, which I never do since I personally play the game enough, and I wouldn't recommend doing that unless you really want some rewards right away. But if you're gonna play the game often enough, you're going to get up there, you know, enough. So, and I think if you're gonna be a budget player, I'd recommend doing those anyway. But if you're gonna be free to play, then you're probably not gonna do that. At least not that. But I think budget players, those are gonna be the go-to things you're gonna do. But yeah, I think I love like the menuing. Like this is probably the best menus I've ever seen in anything. Like Genshin got better recently with animations, and Star Rail I like it. Not my favorite menus in anything, but I think with Genshin recently is probably second place, and the menus here are probably first place. So I think uh, like I don't know. This did a pretty good job. I can see why people think P5. I think when they think P5, they think of P5 like R, and then they think of Strikers. It reminds me of too. When they think of this too. And I just really love this game. I'm repeating myself, so I'm probably not gonna stay too long. I hope you guys enjoy this kind of format. Uh, uh, I don't know. I'm not new to this, and I'm new to this kind of thing. I know I'm rambling here, so I don't know how you guys enjoy this kind of thing. Let me know if you guys do enjoy this kind of stuff, where you hear my thoughts. I'll hopefully try to improve me talking by myself, giving my thoughts on like Hoyo games, maybe anime games in the future, because I'm trying to expand my horizons with anime games. So I hope you guys enjoy this. So have a good day.